Welcome to the ROI Puzzle. I'm Nicole Stirling from Stirling Marketing, and in this show, I sit down with growth leaders in B2B tech to untangle the numbers behind great marketing. Today, we're diving into topics like why siloed systems are blocking MarTech pipeline visibility and execution. If creating and proving ROI feels like a constant battle, you're not alone, and that's exactly why we're here. If your leads are dropping off somewhere between marketing and revenue, and you can't pinpoint exactly where because your teams aren't aligned, and attribution isn't properly tracking the real buyer journey, you're not alone. At Stirling Marketing, we generate 7 million plus in pipeline for B2B tech companies in 12 months with a campaign engine built to close, not just engage. Last quarter, we helped a tech client deliver 73% above pipeline target. And I've created something specifically for marketing leaders who need to diagnose what's broken fast. It's called the Pipeline Acceleration Roadmap. It's a 60-minute strategy session where I'll audit your funnel with you, create a visual diagram of exactly where your leads are getting stuck, and send you a prioritized action plan that you can take straight to your CEO or CRO. If you want to finally pinpoint why your leads aren't converting to pipeline and get a clear roadmap to fix it, book your free Pipeline Acceleration Roadmap at stirlingmarketing.net. With that, I'd now like to dive into today's conversation. I'm joined by Ethan Lippman, Vice President of Revenue Operations at Alkami Technology, where they give community and regional banks a modern all-in-one digital banking platform, letting them deliver the smooth, secure experiences customers expect from big banks, and in turn, boost revenue and retention. In his role, Ethan brings sales, marketing, and customer success under one roof, keeping every go-to-market motion aligned with Alkami Technology's growth ambitions. So Ethan, what's the most frustrating visibility gap you've run into between generating leads and actually seeing them close?
Yeah, first of all, Nicole, thanks for having me. This is great. The most frustrating visibility gap, this is not actually at Alkami in a prior job, but it's from the SDR to SQL. And I'll explain why, because a lot of these can be tracked in Salesforce. When an SDR takes a call in, we are depending upon that SDR to move it to a sales qualified lead. Once it's an SQL, typically it's qualified, so now an opportunity can be created. Once an opportunity is created, we have all the rich win-loss data. We have all the rich opportunity description, the next steps, the competitor field, the technographics of the prospect, etc. Before it hits opportunity, oftentimes it's just a action in Salesforce, right? Kind of like connected, didn't connect, spoke, not a fit. And there's just not a lot of meat on the bone there to really understand, okay, SDR, why was this actually not a fit when marketing thought it was a fit? Maybe it was even in our ICP. So that would be my most frustrating item of SDR to SQL.
Amazing. So can I ask what you're seeing done at the moment to fix that particular gap, either within your business or externally?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about then what we're doing because it is a little different. For the majority of our business lines, we don't actually have SDRs. And that just has to do with who it is we're selling to, the industry that we work in, and the relationships we have. So the majority of our opportunities are either inbound or our reps are sourcing them on their own. Typically, we're selling into more mature organizations. So we like our reps to be a first line of contact, whether at an event or the rep doing their own outbound via a automated marketing tool or a marketing tool that helps automate calls, but of course, never have a outside of our company human speaking with the prospect.
Great. So I guess I've got another question then around if you could choose one metric to prove marketing's impact tomorrow, which metric would you choose and why?
For sure. Nicole, I will take a page out of your book and something you said earlier. You said campaign engine built to close, and you also said lead to revenue. And I love lead to revenue, right? And because I like to think of lead to revenue as a revenue ops team, the number one metric I care about is closed won, because it is not up to marketing, right? So closed won percentage. It's not up to marketing to just bring in a lead. We don't stop at MQL. We don't stop at top of funnel, and we don't hyper focus at bottom of funnel. You have to have people or a team that can focus throughout the entire funnel. Just because someone's midway doesn't mean you're now just wiping your hands. And it also doesn't mean that the creative marketing plans stop. There's a lot of creative things you could do for somebody mid-funnel to get them over into that next stage. And then how do you measure success? Well, you're not measuring close one success every step of the way. You're measuring success of every campaign, whatever that campaign may be, by how many people, what percentage of people move to the next stage of your funnel. But of course, the overall metric is how is marketing impacting close one?
Great. I would love to hear about some of those creative ideas that you have for the middle of the funnel, particularly anything that's working well.
For sure. One thing we love to do is get customers in a virtual space in with prospects. Not surprising, but the way that we like to do that is around the desires of the prospects. So if we have a cohort of prospects that are all saying something similar, we may talk to our sellers, right? And we do. We talk to our sellers, hey, what are you hearing? As we start to realize some similarities, maybe folks are really curious about integrations and how our platform is extensible and how they can bring third-party partners in. When we hear that, we'll bring in some of our most forward-thinking customers in terms of extensibility, right? So the customers who are really building on the API, building on the SDK, have them chat with those prospects rather than us telling them, or rather having our technical team tell them. So that's one example of a way that we might utilize marketing to bridge the gap from sales to customer to ultimately help that seller, right, that prospect, move forward in the sales cycle. So those are the types of things that we like to do.
Amazing. Can I ask, where are you seeing success in marketing at the moment? What's working really well for the business?
Yeah, we love using intent data, but I'm going to say how we use it a little bit differently. We're all using intent data, right, as an industry to power demand gen, to power the messages that we're delivering to prospects to try to move people closer to being an actual marketing qualified lead. I like to use intent data by equipping our sellers with the intent data. So there's a lot of tools out there, right, where you can actually take what's happening with the intent. And there's two types of intent that we really like to watch. The first type is, what is someone doing? So how many people are visiting your LinkedIn? How many people are visiting your website? What are they clicking on? Oh, okay, great. They're interested in digital banking, or they're interested in omnichannel account opening. Great. The other type of intent is, what are they saying? And I love this one because I think it's really underutilized. Watching a company's social posts, watching a company's press releases, watching a company's news cycle, watching their YouTube, etc., taking that and watching new hirings, people who left the company, people who came in, people who were promoted. You take all that intent data that they're actually projecting out into the world. Sellers could use that to make really, really honest, open, meaningful, first-time messages to a cold prospect. And it also helps throughout the sales cycle. I don't know about you, but we deal with pretty long sales cycles here. So it's pretty powerful for a seller to always have a reason to re-engage with a prospect. And they can do that by utilizing that kind of outbound intent data to be like, hey, Bill, so you got a promotion, congrats, or hey, I saw you guys just donated $5,000 to a local charity. That's amazing. That means a lot to us also. So that's some ways that we use intent data a little different than the average bear.
I love that, though. I think that's amazing. And my brain's kind of firing of all the ways that marketing could also be using this. So it's not just the sales team. I think that's a great idea. All right. So I am conscious of time, so we'll keep shuffling along. I do want to say thank you because I appreciate the time you spent today and the knowledge that you have been sharing. Ethan, where can people find out more about you and Alkami?
Yeah, just both available on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure I'm just Ethan Lippman, Lippman, and Alkami is on LinkedIn as well.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And that's a wrap on the ROI puzzle for today. So I want to say a huge thank you to our guest, Ethan Lippman from Alkami Technologies, for the insights. As mentioned, you can connect with Ethan on LinkedIn. And if you're a B2B tech company struggling with leads that aren't converting to pipeline, grab your free pipeline acceleration roadmap at sterlingmarketing.net, and I'll show you exactly where your funnel is broken and how to fix it fast. If you want to share your own story on the show, you can also pop on sterlingmarketing.net and just apply under the Let's Chat section on the bottom of the website. So this is Nicole Stirling. We're helping you solve the ROI puzzle one conversation at a time. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.